You know that feeling, right? That kind of quiet hum of anxiety when you start asking the big questions, and the universe just gives you silence back. It feels like such a modern problem, this crisis of meaning. But what if the answer, the actual toolkit for dealing with it, isn't new at all? What if it's been sitting there, waiting for us, for over 2,000 years?
Our whole story really starts with this one character, staring out into space, wrestling with that one huge question. What if none of it matters? It's the core of nihilism, right? That deeply unsettling thought that maybe, just maybe, there's no grand purpose to any of this.
So, before we can even start looking for an answer, we have to stare the problem right in the face. This isn't just a mood, you know? It's a real philosophical idea. We're talking about the vast, silent, cosmic indifference of everything. Now that word on the slide, recognition, that's the key. Nihilism isn't really a choice you make. It's more like a conclusion you reach when you really look up at the stars and it hits you. The universe doesn't have a plan for you. There's no script, no divine director, just what is.
And this really drives home the sheer scale of it all, doesn't it? I mean, entire galaxies are spinning out there completely unaware that our little planet even exists, let alone all our dramas and triumphs and heartbreaks. This is the abyss that our hero is staring into.
But what happens when that cosmic indifference gets, well, brutally personal? Let's zoom way in, from the emptiness of space to one of the most horrible, confined places ever created on Earth, because it's there that someone made an absolutely incredible discovery about human freedom.
This is Viktor Frankl. He was a psychiatrist, and in 1942 he was sent to a concentration camp. He was stripped of literally everything: his home, his work, his family, even his name. He was thrown into a situation designed from the ground up to destroy the human spirit.
And yet, in that place of absolute powerlessness, Frankl found the one thing, the only thing, that no one could ever take from him. It wasn't the freedom to leave or to act. It was the freedom to choose how he would respond on the inside. His captors could control his body, sure, but they couldn't touch his mind. That was his.
And this is the whole secret. Frankl realized that between what happens to us, the stimulus, and how we react to it, the response, there's a little gap, a tiny moment of time. And in that space, that's where our power is. That's where our freedom lives. The big question then is, okay, how do we get better at using that space?
Well, for that answer, we've got to turn to our ancient mentors, the Stoics. They were a school of Greek and Roman philosophers who basically spent centuries creating a practical toolkit for building what they called an inner citadel, a mind that just cannot be broken.
Okay, tool number one is the master key. It comes from a Stoic named Epictetus, and it's called the Dichotomy of control. It's incredibly simple, really. You just divide everything in your life into two columns: things you actually control and things you don't. The whole secret to Stoicism is to pour 100% of your energy into that first column and learn to accept what's in the second.
Now, the next tool, this one is even more radical. It's called Amor, which is Latin for a love of one's fate. And this isn't just about gritting your teeth and accepting what happens. No. It's about actively embracing it, treating every single event, the good and the bad, as if you chose it, as if it were necessary.
And tool number 3 is a fantastic mental exercise from the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He called it the view from above. Whenever you feel overwhelmed by some problem, you just imagine yourself floating up past your city, past your country, until you can see the whole Earth as just a tiny dot in space. From way up there, how big is your problem now?
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds kind of abstract, right? Just old philosophy. But what's amazing is that these ancient tools are actually the foundation for some of the most powerful and effective psychological therapies we use today.
I mean, just look at this direct line. Stoicism was a major force for almost 500 years. And then, centuries later, in the 1950s, its core ideas were rediscovered, and they became the philosophical bedrock for cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT.
This one quote from Epictetus. This is basically the sentence that launched a revolution in modern psychology. Just listen to it. It's exactly what Viktor Frankl discovered in the concentration camp. It's not the thing that hurts us, it's our judgment about the thing. That space between stimulus and response, it's everything.
And hey, this wasn't some accident. The guys who created modern CBT, Albert Ellis and Aaron Beck, they were super clear about it. They said, yep, the philosophical roots of our modern evidence-based therapy go straight back to these ancient Stoic thinkers.
All right, so let's bring it all home. Let's finish our hero's journey. We've faced the void, we found our inner freedom, and now we've got these ancient tools. So, how does this finally solve that first problem? The problem of a silent, meaningless universe.
This is such a cool comparison. On one side, you have existentialism, which says, okay, the universe is meaningless, so I have to create my own meaning. I have to rebel against the absurd. It's kind of exhausting, right? A constant fight. The Stoic response is totally different. It says the universe's indifference, it just doesn't matter, because the real prize was never out there to begin with.
And here it is. This is the heart of the Stoic answer. Meaning isn't something you find or something you invent. It's something you live. Virtue, which is just a fancy word for human excellence, it isn't valuable because the universe stamps it with a gold star. It's valuable because living with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control is simply the best possible way for a rational creature like a human to live. It is its own reward.
And so we come full circle. Our hero is looking at that same silent, indifferent cosmos, but now the fear is gone. It's been replaced with this calm resolve. See, the search for cosmic meaning was the wrong quest from the start. The Stoics teach us that real freedom isn't about getting an answer from the universe. It's about realizing you never needed its permission to live an excellent life in the first place. So the question isn't, what does it all mean? The question is, how will you live?